Hi and hello and happy Stony Sunday. This is episode 185. This is a Stony Sunday live episode, so if you are watching on Ustream, hello! Make sure you submit your questions. You can sign in with Twitter or Facebook, I'm pretty sure. And you may be watching this episode later because it is recorded and sent to YouTube and STONEYSUNDAY.com. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for smoking with me. It's been a while since I have sat down to record because I did that pre-recorded episode in Australia and then I had episodes before Australia already recorded, so I am back for this Stony Sunday. The show, as it has been for a while, is sponsored by Boveda, which I've just figured out fit even in these little tiny bags that the 1 grams come in. I never thought that the Boveda actually fit in there, but I gave it a shot last night and the mini pack fit, and that's how, or I guess like 2 or 3 nights ago. And that's how I've been keeping the Chocolope nice and smokable. I see some Australian reefers. Hello, Delish friend. You are up in the middle of the night. Thank you for smoking with me. Hi, buddy. San Francisco reefer. We got international reefers all over. Green Sly Fox. Hi and hello. Get smoking and get to answering some questions. It is Stony Sunday, and that's what we do. Cheers, everyone. It's always fun to know how you guys are smoking as well. So why don't you guys tell me, are you hitting a bong? Did you roll up a joint? Is it a pipe when you're at home? I smoked out of a pipe most often for probably the majority of my smoking experience so far, but in the last I'd say 3 to 4 years, it's been pretty much bong only, and especially once concentrates were introduced into my life, it has just been a bongathon, basically. Bongathon. Has anyone been to bongathon? I'm going to ask you guys a bunch of questions this Stony Sunday. I don't prepare questions for the live episode. I can always go and look through the hashtag if no one submits any, but for the most part, it's just whatever you guys want to bring it to the table. I'm going to search the hashtag, you guys. This is a really early live Stony Sunday, and I have a feeling people are still sleeping, and maybe you're watching and you're not ready with the questions. Quick fire. I didn't tell anyone until about maybe 15-20 minutes ago that they should be, or 30 minutes ago, that they should be bringing questions to this episode, so I don't blame you guys. I'm kind of still sleeping too. Delish friend and I are B. Wilson twins, and I love seeing all the different Ben Wilson pieces out there. The smoke building up in here, not my favorite part. I don't want that in my fresh hit at all. How funny, in the comments on the live stream, I can already see there's joints, bongs, and pipes right away. So it's a variety, and I have just been hitting the bong so much lately. I haven't really hit a pipe in a while now. Okay, we are 1 bowl into this Stony Sunday. I think I found questions. On Twitter, Kelsey Supertramp asked, what's my go-to for munchies? And my first reaction was the same as it was years ago. Brie. If I can get a little wedge of brie and some delicious, doesn't even matter what type of crackers, but just basic, simple, no butter added craziness crackers, but just basic crackers. Table crackers, water crackers, I don't know. Those with brie, it's fucking delicious, and it's filling, and it's cheesy. It's really good. I don't eat brie every single day, that's not it, but I don't really like to do the same thing every single day, so the same is true with food. If I like something a lot, I'll probably get it maybe like for a couple of weeks, maybe a week or two, and then try and switch it up because I don't want to just like burn out on my favorite food, if that makes any sense. So for brie, I pretty much save that for like once or twice a month. I'll go and get like those little wedges or the huge wedges and just have a brie fest, and it's my favorite munchie, I think. In terms of like go-to on the daily, drink a lot of Pepsi. It's not even a munchie, it's just addicting and delicious. I don't know. I mix it up, I guess. I try what's new in the store too. John has found some crazy chip flavors, and I don't really go to town on the chips, but I don't know, it's always nice to see like what's new in your local store, even if your local store is a stupid chain. It's true. Green Sly Fox asked, is it hard to get settled back into my homestead after traveling and jet setting around? It was super like weird. Australia was so outdoorsy and open, and in Oakland I am just inside all the time, so it's definitely inspired me to like get outside more, take more bike rides, go check the mail, and like be outside more for a few hours rather than just like run one errand and come home. I don't know why that was so hard to say. It's not really that hard to get back to work though. I think you probably saw on Twitter and stuff. I was super excited to come home and like just get my computer going and get mail sent out and get back to work. I love my job. It's really, really fun. It's amazing, and there's something new every single day. So that wasn't that hard to adjust to, but in terms of like the lifestyle, 2 weeks was really nice to be outside so much, and sleeping in a car for like half of the trip was even better because we just got to see more outdoor stuff all the time. So it was kind of hard to come home and adjust to, but all the more reason to like look for change while I'm at home too, and try and find like maybe an apartment with a little more outdoor space and maybe a different area instead of Oakland, because Oakland's kind of rough in some parts. The magical cupcake. Look at all these questions coming in now. Look at you guys on the live stream. I went to Twitter and you guys are like, hell no, we got questions. I like it. The magical cupcake says, how long was I jet lagged for? They were jet lagged for like a week. I think that I skipped it somehow. Like some weird thing happened and I was super, super, super high when I flew to Australia. So I didn't feel jet lagged at all. I don't know. I was like hit the ground running. We had so much fun. And then on the way back, I was like so anxious and weird because we weren't that high and it was a really long flight. And I think that like counteracted with being jet lagged, and I came back feeling pretty much okay. John was kind of under the weather, like, you know, tired for a day or two. I slept a lot definitely on the first day, but that's just because we'd been up for like 30 hours. I don't think it was jet lag. It was just like exhaustion. But yeah, it was weird. When I went to Amsterdam, I felt sick. Like starting on day 10, I started getting really sick. And then as soon as I got back, I was like really off and jet lagged and weird for like a week. But I think Australia and I have this like soul connection, and it's not going to make me sick. I don't know if that's weird or not, but I just feel like it didn't happen. I didn't get jet lagged. I love Australia. I don't know if you guys have like figured this out yet, but I've had an amazing time pretty much every city I've gone to. I always really like meeting the new people and seeing new architecture and how the cities are set up and what's important in that city. But there was just something about like the whole Gold Coast and where we just drove up and down, and Nimbin and Brisbane, that is not only like amazing to experience, but I already want to go back and I want to figure out a way to get back there. So yeah, go there. I'm too high. Stantla, I don't know how to say this name. Stantla asked, what did I think of the Aussie smoke? It was less trimmed. I think that's what I said in last week's episode. It was definitely less trimmed. The buds were pretty big. Like we saw variants of buds that were small, like this one, which is a Californian bud, and then also like bigger, you know? Like we saw some hefty, nice looking nugs. They seemed a little bit like, they reminded me of the nugs in the Netherlands where they were a little bit rushed, almost like they weren't done developing all the crystals and trichomes. They could have just gone a little bit more, but I'm not a grower and I really don't know if that's accurate. It's just kind of the rhetoric that I've heard around that type of like smell and look of nugs. So I'm doing the best I can with that type of review. But overall, it got me super high. Like, there were so many times where I felt sativa high, just like giggling and silly, pigged out on a lot of ice cream, and had a really fun day at the beach walking around. I think it was a mix of traveling and being on vacation, and then also not smoking as much as I normally did. Whenever we did smoke, it still got us like really, really high. So it wasn't hard to deal with. It wasn't like a punishment or something I had to get through. It was awesome, and it wasn't that bad at all. It was really cool. Some people from America were suggesting that I bring Californian strains or this or that and like change the genetic scene of Australia, and that's just not my intention at all. I think it's really more beneficial to support whatever is going on locally for that to develop and thrive into the best that it can be. And then maybe once they've had a few Australian cannabis cups and Australian breeders and extract artists and their own, you know, like farms going on, maybe then their strains can like go in a cup against our strains and we can go head to head and bring our strains over there. But just to kind of walk in with a huge decades long advantage in genetics and be like, oh hey, ours are better. Like, it's just jackassy and not something I was going to try and do. I did bring an American magazine. I brought over Cannabis Now, and I left it there. It was crazy to see how expensive the cannabis magazines were, and it was interesting to hear from Green Candy Press, who publishes cannabis books, that there is a lot of different regulations and bans on cannabis literature in Australia, and it's actually really hard to just get books into the country. It's unbelievable. Like, books and just the freedom of speech is pretty important in America, and the idea that they would just ban a genre of books is horrific. But you probably saw that there were some books in the Nimbin bookshop. So there are, like, of course there's literature in Australia regarding cannabis, but at least from one publisher's perspective, it's more difficult than some other countries. Oh my gosh, people are talking about their Pepsi addictions too. No, don't support each other. We can't enable each other, you guys. No. Someone suggested sea salt and garlic chips, by the way. I would check those out for sure. Jessica asked, what did I eat for breakfast this morning after Wake and Bake? This is terrible. I didn't even eat breakfast yet. I got ready. I took some dabs, and then I opened a Pepsi. I'm so terrible. I haven't had breakfast yet. I could definitely go for some. I thought about having some cereal, but that didn't do anything, so I didn't actually get any cereal. And I won't sit and eat breakfast and make you guys watch. That would be really, really weird. But I'll probably like have a good breakfast after this. Side note, another Australian blurb. They have savory French toast there. I don't know if this was like one restaurant I went to, like it's just a weird one and I'm going to think all of Australia does this, I don't know, but savory French toast is something that needs to happen in America. So if you make French toast regularly, look into breading it with like some crumb thing and then avocado and tomato and hollandaise sauce, not syrup. So consider this. Let it sink in. Oh, it was so good. It was so good. Now, after all that soda talk, I'm just so thirsty. The sodas were like $4 a bottle. By the way, that size bottle, $4 in Australia. I do not miss that. I don't know how I would do that. Cloudy Snow Wolf is here. She said she'll make French toast. Savory French toast, I hope. Let's hang out. Oh my god, so delicious. Australian breakfast like was over the top amazing. Everywhere I went, it was just like, let's have the best, most indulgent, delicious, pretty healthy breakfast we can, and I hope you enjoy it. Dabber Lady is here asking if I am an active member of any activist groups in California. I am not, and I feel pretty mixed about it. Like, I always try and say that people have to do what they're best at for cannabis, and I am not best at working in groups. I feel really awkward. I don't know what to contribute. And there's a lot of excuses that I can like keep saying for why I'm not in activist groups, but I love them and I support them and I try and bring a lot of awareness as best I can to the different local groups. So a lot of times the local groups have different branches wherever you are and different chapters that people can join in other states. I have attended Americans for Safe Access meetings and normal meetings, and I've loved them, normal conferences. They're really empowering, they're really educational, and you meet different people in the community that not only enjoy smoking weed, but they have their lives and careers invested in it in a personal way. They're lawyers, they are accountants, they are politicians, or different people that are just trying to make a difference with what they do in life and cannabis. And it's just a different vibe than other cannabis events. But I actually haven't like joined officially any group. My friend sent in money to Normal and got the Normal t-shirt and stuff when we were in high school, and I was like, wow, she is so badass. She really put her money where her mouth is, and she's like, just fucking did it, you know? I was super, super impressed, but then I never did it. So I definitely fail at that. But I really hope that you guys wouldn't use me as an excuse, and that if like group activities or having local allies, local friends, people that you can call if you need any political advice, or maybe just some sort of like, I'm stressing, what can I do? You can make a lot of different friends at these events and these different activist groups. So definitely look into them wherever you are, and I'll do my best to keep looking into them too. I just missed another Americans for Safe Access meeting, and I get the email about it like before and after, and I'm like, oh, I should have gone. It's not that far away, and I didn't go. I fail. Okay, Magical Cupcake says Surfer's Paradise was simply beautiful, but to me it was not. What was going on? I don't even know how to describe. I pictured like Surfer's Paradise, close your eyes. What is in Surfer's Paradise? It's just like beaches and that's it. Maybe like a smoothie shop, a burrito stand, like nothing. It's just paradise for surfers, but that's not Surfer's Paradise in Australia. Surfer's Paradise in Australia has like a mall and strip clubs and like burger places and fast food everywhere, and it was just, it's its own cool little town, but I was totally confused on what it was. It was really weird. Totally not a question, but very confusing. Nico420 asked, did I see a dingo? Maybe. I did. I kind of did. It was like, I don't know if it counts if I saw it in a wildlife park. Does that count? Because I paid money to go, like, knowing it would be there, and then I went, and I was like, I see you, dingo. So I don't know if that really counts as, like, spotting it, but I saw it. I've seen it, and I made a video with all the wildlife that I saw at this wildlife park, which is not very wild, but it is pretty cool. And that video will probably come up in the next, like, 2 or 3 weeks. Maybe a month. I have a lot of videos coming up, and I'm really stretching out the Australia footage because it makes me excited whenever I see it, so I want to watch it over the next few months, and I hope you guys do too. And that wildlife park video has dingoes and my hunt for a koala. We heard all these rumors when we were like signing in at the front, getting our tickets, that they like didn't have koalas because they had to be moved or whatever, and yeah, I think you guys will like that video. And then also I had to try and find wallabies and kangaroo. Those are like the quintessential Australian animals. And there's like a 1,000,000-year-old bird there too, a dinosaur bird. Dinosaur bird with like hands or claws probably as big as my face. Probably bigger. It was so freaky. Yeah. Gavin Wilkie, oh wait, before I go too far, I'm going to load up a dab in the vape exhale. I was just mentioning I have all these videos on the way. One of them is going to be a review of this thingamabob. It is a vaporizer, glass-on-glass joint, all-glass vapor path. We're going to do a giveaway in June, so I'm also going to have a video about them in the beginning of June, but for right now, I'm going to go ahead and take a dab. I think I have everything I need for all of that. And then get back to Gavin Wilkie's question. Gavin Wilkie asked if I'd ever heard of the YouTube smoker Haley is Sorex, and I think she's even said she doesn't know how to pronounce her name. Yes, I have heard of her. I think she's hilarious. Every time I watch one of her videos, I really feel like you're just sitting there and smoking with her. Like, she just chats, and it's really cool. I dig that style. And she has an open invitation to come and chill with me and be on a video sometime, but I know she just got a car, and before that we both didn't have cars, and it's kind of hard to get around once you leave like the San Francisco area. Public transit wise, you're going to be, I don't know, on a train for a while, so we haven't really met up, But we might, at the June Cup, we might be able to film then. I'm not really sure what's going to happen. It's always a busy weekend when it's during the Cups. And I have another video planned that weekend too. Things are crazy. Okay, this thing, the Vape Exhale, has a little green light when it's ready to go. This is the concentrate piece. And I'm going to get dabbing. I put the concentrate piece right in there. Put this on. Look for more questions. Awesome! Dabber Lady asked if I use medibles very often. I really don't. Most often I have purchased edibles or medibles in dispensaries, and they're like 10, maybe like $5 to $15 per edible, and they definitely go as high as like 25 for some of them. So I don't really indulge in them too often because it's like a one-day purchase. You're going to eat the whole thing if you're anything like me. So the edibles that I have had have often been like gifts from friends. Hubby bars, I've been hooked up with a bunch of hubby bars, and those are fucking delicious and actually worth it. If you find those in the shops, they're almost always, from what I've seen, under $15, if not like $10 or $12. And I don't eat a whole hubby bar in a day. I eat like 2 squares and take a nap, and it's awesome. Those are really good. But I generally have edibles for when I'm traveling. I did take about 1,200 milligrams when I flew over to Australia, so that was a lot, and it was a good amount. So like other edibles, I feel like I don't get hit that hard by them, and they're generally like a supplement to other smoking things that are already happening. But I don't know, they're good for the right time for me, but they're not my daily choice at all. Green Slide Fox asked if I have anything planned for my birthday month, anything East Coast-ish. I super wish. That'd be really, really fun. I used to, growing up, always spend my birthday like way the fuck out of town. Like, peace out, friends. I didn't want to chill with you. I wanted to go and just, I don't know, chill by myself and be somewhere new. That's what I like doing for my birthday. I haven't planned anything East Coast-ish early summer. I would love to get back out to the East Coast for the Boston Freedom Rally. I'm really trying to save my pennies and figure out how I can do that. In terms of June, my birthday month, it's on the 25th, if you guys are wondering, and I am not having like anything that I've done before. No party, no get together. I'll probably have a giant donut cake just because it's awesome and I'm not going to skip that. But I'm going to go to the Cannabis Cup right after my birthday and say hello to everyone that I love. I love the Cannabis Cup in June. It's definitely one of my favorite ones. And yeah, a lot of giveaways. There's the Vape Exhale giveaway going on. Miss Mary Jane and I, well, we're going to be filming, so I guess that giveaway is going to be in July probably. There's going to be a Poprageous giveaway. There's just a lot that I'm going to give away, I guess. I won't be doing like a Gone June giveaway make a bong thing anymore, sadly, I don't think. Jessica M. asked, is it illegal to bring pills or edibles to the airport? I think, I might have to confirm with John, but we didn't leave the country with ours, right? John?
No.
No, okay. Sorry, I had to just double check because like I said, got pretty high. But we flew, our first flight was from SFO to LAX, was where our layover was for a couple of hours, like 2 hours. And then we flew to Australia, like straight into Brisbane. So for us personally, we didn't really break the law because we were California patients and we were allowed to fly out of SFO. We're allowed to have that. At LAX, they didn't really do much at all. And then we just took all of the capsules that we had right then because then we were about to be on the flight forever and ever and ever, and we might as well. So we didn't actually go through customs. I didn't go through or like leave the country and bring anything illegal into Australia. Just for my own legal safety. I did not want to be that like American pot YouTuber detained in Australia because she thinks that she can do whatever she wants. Like, I wasn't trying to do that, so no. But it was like pretty easy to just have them in the bag. They were actually in a fish oil container because that was really convenient for me. And then right before we got on the flight, like the second flight, it already been maybe like hours and hours since we left the house and had the last edibles and everything. Then we went ahead and took all the capsules and ate any remaining hubby bars too. It was awesome. More questions from the live stream. I'm cruising. Oh, Greenside Fox, you're just like on with the questions now. She's asking what's going down in Kansas. My boyfriend's friend is getting married, and so we're going to go back to Kansas in October. And I don't really have any more details than that. Like the date and everything is something that we're going to keep kind of private. It's not something I'm going to have like a big fuss around because we still have to plan the trip. But while I'm in Kansas, in the Midwest area, I've never been there. I definitely want to do a meetup. The distance people have already said they're going to drive or come is just like incredible, and I'm not going to miss it. I'm not going to miss it. I'm going to find a way to do this. So presuming that the wedding's on one weekend, I think the meetup might have to be during the week. If we can extend the trip to make it during 2 weekends, then I'd love to have a weekend meetup, but I really don't know how it's going to be most convenient, and the last thing I'm going to do when like flying out to visit a boyfriend's friend for their wedding is make a big fuss about a YouTube meetup. It makes me feel like really awkward. Like I want to do it. I want to meet everyone, but I don't want them to think that I'm there for my own attention. I'm definitely there to celebrate their wedding and to meet people and to like see where John grew up and experience Kansas. So the meetup is going to be awesome, but I got to keep it low key. Low key, you guys. But it's going to be awesome. Yeah. Plus, like, I'm excited to see the weed that's out in Kansas because that's what John grew up smoking for a while. And, like, we've just talked about it so much and different things that we've had to go through to smoke and see. And I'm just excited to, like, be there. Oh, my God. There's so many new questions and comments. Whoa. Whoa. The worst part of Australia. Hemp Me, Hemp You has asked. By the way, this is not the hemp green shirt. The hemp green shirt is going to be a darker green with white, and I think there are about 30 orders left for the hemp green shirt. Any size, extra small through 3XL, you can order right now, and then they come in June, and I'm really, really excited. They're going to be awesome. Holy shit, there's a bowl packed in here that I didn't even smoke. How come no one said anything? I gotta smoke this. Hemp Me, Hemp You asked, what was the worst part of Australia? I'm sorry to ramble about Australia this whole time, but I'm not sorry at all. But the worst part was that everything cost money. Not even like a super amount of money, but in a dream world, everything would be free, and I would have gone scuba diving, and I would have flown over to Sydney and Perth and Adelaide. But, you know, it's not like that, so, yeah. Keon Caroline asked if I've ever heard about the Freetown Christiana in Denmark. I haven't at all. I don't know what it is. Freetown? I don't know. Send me details. I have questions now. So many questions. I am reading through these. Abby Lawrence asked if I would ever go over to England. I absolutely would. It seems very foggy and gray from what I hear, and I'm so okay with that. So I would definitely go and check it out. I think I'd trip. Like, so many of our historical buildings in America are still really, really new when you compare them to what's going on in the UK or other parts of the world even. Yeah, so I think it would just be incredible. I would love to go. It's all about finding the right event, the right opportunity to go out there so that I can spend a weekend, find new friends, find allies, not just like wander around by myself, feel really, really awkward. So if you guys have a UK event that gathers a lot of cannabis attention and also just freedom of speech, freedom of civil rights, that type of thing, let me know. Let me know what's going on. I would love to do it. It's Kauai asked if I'm going to be at Pride in San Francisco this year. Pride is a celebration of, I think, just personal sexuality. Like, I don't want to say it's just gay rights. It's gay, lesbian, transgender, bisexual, questioning, but I'm straight and I don't feel left out at Pride. Pride's just about, like, I get to have sex with who I want and it's no one else's business, choice, or, like, problem. That's what I think of as Pride. It's Kauai asked if I'm going to be at the Pride celebration in San Francisco this year, and I'm super just, it's always the same, but no, because the High Times Cup is the same weekend as Pride, and it's like 2 hours away. I really wish that the weekends didn't overlap at all, because Pride is something I do feel very passionately about. It's something I love to go and enjoy and just celebrate with everyone else of like fuck yeah, freedom is basically what I think of for Pride. It's a lot of rainbows, so it's a really colorful and like vibrant weekend as well. Doc, by the way, is walking around my feet. I'm gonna try and grab him. Do you want to be on Stony Sunday? No. He's taken off. Oh, I shouldn't announce the plans. Cats know that. Pride in Santa Cruz in California, I think, starts even earlier in June, and I am trying to put together a video, because even if I can't be celebrating Pride in San Francisco or Santa Cruz, I am going to be celebrating and just kind of sharing a little bit more information about why gay rights and just sexual preference rights, sexual identity, I don't even know how to really get to the core issue of it, but those rights and that equality matter, and they have so much to do with cannabis that I don't think people ever think about or realize at all. So I really want to make a video just connecting the two for a lot of people that maybe have never thought about it or made that connection in any way. And if it makes you guys uncomfortable, all the more reason to talk about it more, because that's the whole deal, you know? If you guys are uncomfortable with it, I think it's because you're not really familiar with it, and there's still more to say. Yeah. Somebody asked if I met any questions. Met any growers. A couple of people have asked, did I meet any growers in Australia? It didn't really happen like that. The people that I had casually like tried to meet up with, I wasn't able to connect with. I didn't have a local phone number, and I didn't make it happen really. So I didn't. I guess I met with like smaller local growers, but no, like, I didn't go to any grows or anything, but I did smoke with some people that grew some weed, so that kind of counts. But I didn't go see any gardens or anything like that. It would have been really, really sick, but it's super dangerous over there, and I'm so vocal about it that I think a lot of strangers and people were like really uncomfortable. Greensly Fox just posted something about an auction on Instagram, and I think that's badass. Like, all the more power, I guess. Whatever, everyone's gotta make money, you know? If you want a green Stony Sunday shirt that hasn't been worn and not washed and sweat in for a while, and I wouldn't want that shirt. If you want a brand new Stony Sunday shirt, those are also for sale right now too, and you can just like pay a set price. Just putting it out there. But yeah. Someone asked where to go. Ashley McKee, if the shirts are only going to be hemp from now on, something I've really had to think about, because the standard shirts, they're wrinklier, first of all. Every time I look in the camera, I'm like, oh, it's a wrinkly shirt. No, I should have ironed my Stony Sunday shirt. But they are cheaper. They're like $24, and they wholesale much, much cheaper than the hemp ones. So I, per shirt, actually do make more money on the classics, not the hemp. The hemps wholesale more than double the original shirts, but they aren't more than double the price. That's the difference in that. But they are $40 shirts, and I don't really spend $40 on shirts that often, so to have $40 shirt price point is something I've like really gone back and forth on, because I don't know, it was really hard for me to do. But when I look at the wholesale cost, the printing, the shipping, and how it's done, this is the most reasonable and fair price that I can set for it. So I know that it's the right price, but I also know that it's like an investment people have to make, and it's definitely higher than a lot of people like want to pay for a shirt. Why would I only have hemp shirts if they're $40 and I don't even make as much per shirt? I believe in hemp. I think it's awesome. I know that over time hemp will be the cheaper option. It's more sustainable, it's stronger, it's more durable when you actually have the hemp shirt. Someone posted they last through like 500 washes. I think Vapor Room said that on Instagram. Maybe more washes. They're incredible. There's hemp backpacks, hemp shirts, hemp pants, hemp everything, and I believe in the plant. Once we have more hemp farming in all of America, but specifically the states that have already legalized cannabis, I want to see those hemp farms growing too. Yeah, that is going to really just adjust the whole price of shirts, and that's why I'm trying to invest in it now, get those farms going. Right now the shirts are not American-made hemp. That's just where I've been able to find through handmade apparel. We've been able to source, I think it's imported from China hemp, and hopefully eventually we can have American-made hemp, and it's just, we're going to have to ride the price point wave of hemp as that goes, I guess. I don't think I'm going to rush into making any more of these cottony shirts. They are just, yeah, I think I've done like 500 of them, 500 or 600. The tie-dye ones I'm not doing anymore, especially the rainbow ones. Like, that was the 50 only. If I ever did tie-dye Stoney Sunday shirts again, they would be different colored tie-dye. And I don't know if I would ever do that again. But the green shirts, I'm probably going to like hold off on doing non-hemp. And the black shirts, I only did 50 non-hemp ones. And I think from now on, I just want all black ones to be hemp. They're so soft. They're so sick. And I have a feeling that once I get the green hemp shirts in my hands too, because I haven't touched one, like worn one of the green ones. But I think I'm going to love it as much as I love the black ones. And I'm just going to want to phase out the cotton blend. They will still have Boveda, powered by Boveda, because that is who powers the show and helps me send out goodie bags and all of that. And yeah, and then on the back it will always say, stay high, stay high. Yeah. I can ramble for a really long time is what I realize on every Stoney Sunday. Do I want to dab or smoke? I think finish this bowl for sure. Jake 420757 asked if 10 years from now I could see vehicles being powered by natural resources from cannabis. I don't even know if it would take 10 years. I don't think it would take 10 years at all. In terms of them being mass produced and common, it might take more than 10 years. I don't really know. But yeah, I definitely think cannabis and hemp is just an all-around amazing specimen of a plant, and what you can do with the oil is incredible. So we will see. We will see. I am reading through some of the questions. Greenslide Fox wants purple hemp Stoney Sunday shirts. Okay, what do you guys think about that? I don't know. I haven't ever wanted to do like a gendered color. Purple, I'm assigning it a gender and then saying I don't want it to have a gender, so I'm so dumb. But purple is like, people have strong feelings about it, even myself apparently. And I don't know if I want to do purple shirts, but I love it. And I just got purple pot leaf leggings that I don't have a Stoney Sunday shirt to match them in, so I'm wearing leggings 2 days in a row. And as you guys can see, this is like a huge dilemma. So I might have to look into doing purple hemp Stoney Sunday shirts. I might have to. I really want to keep the Stoney Sunday shirt variety going. You can wear them any day of the week. Who gives a fuck? And I really want to keep the tie-dye thigh highs going, but then I don't think I'm going to do more boxers or bamboo socks. The bamboo socks, everyone that ordered them seems like they got really confused and they thought they were thigh highs, and it was very disappointing. It was hard. I like them. They're really soft socks, but it was confusing for some people. So bamboo, also awesome alternative to cotton, by the way, if you were wondering. Yes. I wish I could read all of the comments, but sometimes it's just to enjoy, you know? Yes. People want a deep purple. Oh my god, there's dudes saying purple. Everyone's for the purple. I'm sorry I doubted you. Purple with Rasta lettering? I don't know. Purple and Rasta sounds crazy. Dark purple. Okay, we're gonna look into it. You guys are awesome. Never know what to expect. I'm gonna take a dab. I smoked, now to dab. By the way, I already took a couple of dabs before recording, and then I've been kind of smoking less as I got home, but I love smoking a lot when I like sit and answer questions, so I feel like I'm gonna be really, really high for the rest of the day. Yeah, it's gonna be good. There's not gonna be, oh wait, There will be the shirts in the end of this week's episode. I've been able to add those in at the very end, even from the live episode, so that's really exciting. I love seeing the shirt pictures, and it would look really cool to have purple up in that Instagram shirt gallery. Get some purple all over that too. Definitely. It's Kawhi is asking if I believe that cannabis has the potential to be the cure for major diseases like cancer and AIDS. I think maybe it's like Neil, what's that guy's name? The scientist? Tyson? Neil deGrasse Tyson. Thank you. Neil deGrasse Tyson. I think that's the right name. I think it's him that says the great thing about science is you don't have to believe in it for it to be true. That's what I love about cannabis. Is that quote his? Do you know? Okay, I'm just throwing things out in the world now. I think it's him that says that. And that's just true about cannabis. You don't have to believe in it for it to be true. So I have seen the studies that say it can kill cancer cells, and it can cure some forms of cancer. I've seen it. AIDS, I haven't personally looked into it as much, but I would believe that there's the potential. I think that's fair to say. And regardless of what the prohibitionists believe or anything like that, the truth is what is true and actually real, and it's amazing what you can show over time with controlled studies and research, and I'm not scared once we have access to science. Okay, the dab is in there. It's so stable, it didn't even stick to the sides, and I thought I lost it, but it just fell straight to the bottom. Okay, this is some Larry OG, which is also probably why it's getting me super high. I love a good indica. Sativas are great for like working all day, but if you're just trying to chill, a good indica like a Larry OG is awesome. Look at all you purple shirt lovers. Everyone's so excited. Maybe the people that don't like purple just like zipped up for a second. That's cool too. Awesome. Awesome. Okay, another dab. Get this all ready. Dun, dun, dun. Cloudy Snow Wolf, sorry, I'm just like zoning out for a sec. Cloudy Snow Wolf asked more about my views on rallies over cups, cups over rallies. What's going on there? Was I radicalized down under? What does it mean? While I was in Nimbin, I felt like crying a lot because there were so many people that believed in cannabis the same way that I did. And it just felt so different than a cup. I'm trying to think, how can I even explain it? If you guys saw the video that I posted from Mardi Gras, I think a lot of you just saw the difference in attendance at the event. These were more people that just seemed like down to earth and less of a, I don't know, like fashion show type of thing that the cups can be, which I'm guilty of it. I love wearing fun poly clothes and stuff. But like they had the ganja fairies at Nimbin, and they all had the same shade of green on, but like different kinds of outfits. They did a synchronized dance, and it's like, I feel like if that was done in America, it would just be sexualized, and there it wasn't sexualized. It was just fun, and it was pretty and beautiful, and like they had a synchronized dance with pot leaves, and like it was the coolest thing ever. And I don't see marches at cups. No one joins together all at one point at a cup. Like at 2 o'clock, everyone go here. At 4:20, everyone go here. And let's all rally together and someone get on the microphone and explain people or introduce people that have been cured by the plant and introduce families that have been destroyed by prohibition. And there isn't anyone really like hosting the cup. It's everyone just wanders around and you just kind of look at a bunch of stuff. But at Mardi Gras and at different rallies, there's a host, there's someone driving your energy and making it for a certain intention, and it's just, it's awesome. It feels really, really good. It's something I want to go to more of. I've been to some great events in America. Like, I'm not trying to say all of American events are ruined and corporate and terrible. Hemp Fest is the largest event of its kind. It's up in Seattle, Washington. They say it has nearly 100,000 people a day over the course of a 3-day weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's huge, and yet if you don't want to pay, you just wait in line, and it's a free event. You can pay and get a VIP pass or something, and then I think if you pay, you're like a member, a HempFest member or something, and you can just walk in without having to wait in line. But in the basic sense, it's a free event, and it's welcome to families. There's people pushing babies, and it has a bunch of different stages, so it doesn't have one main focus point like Nimbin did with the main street. Everyone joined at certain events or at certain times. But there's actually 5 stages. Oh, my ring's backwards. There's 5 stages at HempFest in Seattle, and there are amazing, like, certain times that you should go. And I think it's the McWilliams stage that I've stayed closest to in the past few years when I've gone to Seattle, and that's where Jody Emery has been speaking, and Ngaio Bellum, and Steve, oh my god, I'm so high right now. I'm totally forgetting his name, but I've heard some incredible speakers at the HempFest stages, and I've made videos of that too. Now in the comments on the live stream, there are requests for a everyday Stoney shirt. We'll figure this out. We'll try and make this work for everyone, because it is the Sunday thing, but if you're wearing it on a Wednesday, are people going to think you have a dirty shirt on? We're going to figure it out. We're going to work together, and we're going to make an awesome shirt. Gloria Almanza says that she did see the Nimbin video, and she really wishes that she could infuse some of that passion or whatever it was to the cups here. I was trying to think, like, when we left, I spent maybe like half an hour talking with my boyfriend about, like, how can we bring this home? Like, what can we do? We just had the most amazing weekend. We just, like, saw the most amazing people, so passionate. What can we do to bring this home? And pretty much, like, we need to get marches going is what I was thinking. Like, get organized people together all at the same point, not just wandering around looking at whatever, whenever, but have a message and have a reason. And there does need to be, like, the parade itself that happened wasn't a parade of brands. It was a parade of community members, and, like, the little convoy was so sick, and we don't need to copy that exactly. But there were things I couldn't even film at Mardi Gras. Like, did you know that there were competitions there for joint rolling? A bunch of different styles, or speed, or blind joint rolling in the wind, like different seasonal styles as well. I couldn't even find time to film everything that was so fucking awesome. They also did, like, a Growers Olympics where you, like, had to carry buckets of water and, like, run around. Oh my god, it was amazing. So we need to incorporate fun things like that where you are just competing as a human being for your friends and fun, and not like best strain ever, best concentrate ever. Like, it was so much more fun and like a big huge fucking family camping trip. Like, you can just go do whatever and hang out, and I loved it. It was awesome. The next Hemp Fest, by the way, in Seattle is in August. I think it's the 3rd weekend in August. I'm pretty sure, maybe second or third, something like that. And I am definitely trying to be there. I'm doing the best that I can to be for Hemp Fest and Boston. Those two are really, really great freedom rallies, and they really stay on point. And there are booths, and there are, like, people making their money, and they're gonna have to. Everyone has to pay rent. I totally understand. I sell my shirts, so I never want it to be coming across as like I'm against making rent and making money. But when it comes to where the focus of the event is on, I definitely want more speakers and more community-driven things and less bands and brands. That's kind of what I'm saying. Yeah. It's really nice because there are a lot of rallies to attend in California, and even small events that are going to be the same for you guys locally. Like, John and I went to a reading at the courthouse, which was boring as fuck, but we were there, and we had the green shirt on, and you're just there to bear witness that if these people want to speak stupid mistruths about cannabis, you're going to sit there and look them in the eyes, and you can even sometimes have an opportunity to say, well, you're wrong, and this is why you're wrong. I have the truth with me, and I know what's up. But we didn't get to speak at this type of meeting. It was just one where we sat there, and it wasn't really a big rally. Like, we didn't have protest signs, and there was no one being like, this is what we believe in. There was no change the law, just so good. But we just bear witness, and we were there as a group hearing the court reading and that whole thing together. So there are definitely things you can do big and small and corporate and totally independent. So lots of variety. Where'd that go? Someone asked what I was having for dinner tonight, and I don't know. Greenside Fox, your on-point questions. I don't know what I'm going to have for dinner tonight, but last night I had fresh pasta that we got at the farmer's market, butternut squash ravioli with a cream sauce that we got at the farmer's market, and it was so good. It was so good. So I wish we didn't eat all of it, because I would definitely want that for dinner again tonight. We should have bought like 10 of them. We only bought one. Now we know, though. It was really delicious. It was an Oakland farmer's market. I guess it happens on Saturdays. And I saw people that I didn't expect to see there. And it was really, really exciting. It was super, super cool. And some lady was jogging. And, like, by my own super biased opinion, she didn't look like a smoker. She was, like, jogging all healthy. Like, she got her headphones on. Like, she looked like some kind of bitchy girl. Like, I don't know. But she stopped and was like, where did you get those poly leggings? And I was like, oh, shit. I got them online. Like, I didn't think you would like them, but she did. So you never know who you're going to meet, by the way, if you wear pot leaf clothes out and about. You just never know. Picking up chicks, pot leaf leggings. Oh my god, Cloudy Snow Wolf was making chicken thighs tonight. You need to go hang out. What are you going to do to the chicken thighs? We have about 10 minutes left with this Stony Sunday. Oh, and there should be a News Nug recap. I might answer questions after this, but I'm going to do this before I forget. Because sometimes for the live episodes, I totally forget the News Nug recap. News Nug does 5 stories a week. I have sometimes been posting it on Saturday and not Friday. The schedule does what the schedule wants, and I try to keep up. But News Nug is maybe one of my favorite things about my job as a YouTuber, because I get to go and find cannabis stories that are sometimes good and sometimes really upsetting, and it's just, it feels like it connects me with different parts of the country and the world. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I'm going to go 7 stories back because the hiatus ended, and I don't think I did any stories since then, but 7 stories back, Kentucky was suing the DEA to free the impounded hemp seeds. Kentucky wants to grow hemp. Kentucky is ready for some research about hemp. They need to get those seeds planted by June 1st. Last I heard, a hearing had been set for Friday, but I didn't go and get an update since then. So if you guys know what's going on, definitely let me know. But to my knowledge, it was still up in there. I really hope they get their seeds back if they haven't already. It's ridiculous that this is even a problem. This needs to be a state law that the federal government respects. I think that seems pretty obvious. In Canada, next story, Peace Naturals Medicine has recalled Purple Kush, I think was the strain. It's the second recall in a month for Health Canada. A recall for cannabis is because it tests high in contaminants or bacteria on the bud. Oh, there goes Doc cruising back there. But the recall is generally a good thing because it does show regulation and testing. We don't even have a statewide recall system in California. It's not like that. We just have local testing facilities that do reach pretty far across the state, but they may recall something in a dispensary, but it's not statewide. There's no database like that. You don't have to actually get it approved to sell it and dispense it to patients by the state. So it seems kind of gross that there was a recall with pot, and you're like, but no like bad issues have popped up last I read with that case. And overall, it does show a good thing with regulation. The next story is like Civil War stuff, and it's that the federal government would like to, and probably has at this point, cut off the water supply for legal marijuana crops in Colorado and Washington, where legal cannabis is growing. There is some federally controlled water. It's not a huge percent of all of the grows, but it does make up a percent of some of these grows, and that federally controlled water, it has been threatened to be turned off, even though it's a legal grow that's being used for. So they are saying that it may be because of low water supply and drought, but alcohol's not being affected, that brewing continues on, and it just seems like a direct hit to cannabis very intentionally in states where it has already been passed legally. All of the links to the stories, by the way, are on facebook.com/newsnug and twitter.com/newsnug, instagram.com/newsnug, all those links. But Facebook's the easiest to go and click the links, I think. The next story is awesome, and it makes me think of Engineering is Magic or Stoney Science. I don't know if you guys remember her or watch her videos. I haven't seen if she's made a new video recently, but she's fucking awesome. And the FBI director, Comey, says that he can't find enough programmers because of zero tolerance marijuana rules. Turns out a lot of really good hackers and programmers and computer people love marijuana. A lot of really brilliant people love marijuana, and if you have a job that has a zero tolerance marijuana policy, they're smart enough to know that's not the job for them, and they're not going to put their job at risk to enjoy something that they know they love. So the FBI apparently can't find enough hackers and programmers because they have a zero tolerance marijuana policy, and all of the best candidates love weed. So the most brilliant people, oh my gosh, Doc is standing on his litter box. He is not one of the most brilliant. There he is. He's standing up there on the window. Maybe that makes him smart. I don't know. But he's just looking out the window. Yeah. Turns out brilliant people love pot. I also love pot. I am not one of these brilliant people that is doing the hacking and programming. But I think it's really funny that people are complaining they can't hire the smartest, best candidates because they love pot. Yeah. No shit, right? The next story comes from New York, which was that medical marijuana passed in the New York Senate's Health Committee for the first time. There are still a few more hoops to jump through in terms of getting it into patients' hands in New York, but super, super close. More progress made, and New York is really finding its voice for what it wants in medical cannabis. There's a lot of people that just pop up and say, like, oh, we don't want to be like California, but you really need to figure out what that means then in your own state. What do you want to be? And why is California so horrible? It's fucking awesome. I love it. The next story is something I wasn't immediately going to report on, but it did spread as a pretty large story, and it was really interesting. A teen could face life in prison because of the weight of brownies that contained hash oil. He's being charged with having hash oil equivalent to the weight of the batch of brownies. He also had other hash oil just by itself that would have still given him a very serious charge. So that's why I was back and forth on whether this was a very unique story. There are so many people that are facing life in prison or already serving like significantly lengthy sentences. And I'm super, super, like, I don't even know how to express it, really. I'm frustrated by this. I am horrified for his parents. There's a picture of his face back there, that young man. They must just be so frustrated as well of what can they do when the law is so out of date and so just not in balance with whatever law he's actually breaking. The punishment doesn't make sense in any way. So hopefully he just gets the much lesser sentence. As the article reads, this is what he could face. He hasn't actually been sentenced to life in prison. But as I mentioned, there are a lot of prisoners of the prohibition on cannabis already in jail and already in prison. And there's a lot of people you can write. You can write to Eddie Lepp. You can write to Mark Emery. There are way more people. I think ASA, Americans for Safe Access, I think they have a who to write to page. I might be wrong about that. But there's definitely people you can write to in prison right now, and you can still give attention to this kid and get his story spread about how ridiculous this law is. The last News Nug recap, and then I'll probably answer like 3 more questions or something. The last News Nug recap is if Wisconsin stopped prosecuting, this is just a quote, I'm reading it. If Wisconsin stopped prosecuting people for possession of marijuana, it would save about $7 million a year in arrest costs alone. It would also save about $150 a day in jail costs while the accused were awaiting prosecution, and it would save $31,000 per convicted person a year in Wisconsin. So those numbers are very specific to that state, but it speaks volumes about all states, all countries. We are wasting money on cannabis, jail time, court time, lawyers, resources. It's ridiculous, and I live in a dangerous enough neighborhood to say there are much better things for the cops to be spending their time on. I don't care where you live. I think you can agree with me in that, and it's just crazy. It's just crazy. I'm going to grab Doc. The third to last question Keon asked, is Doc getting darker? Hi. Pick you up, I take you over here. He is getting darker. He's huge, first of all. He's a giant. And I don't know why he gets so dark. But he's Siamese and wild runaway cat, so maybe he's going to grow up to look less Siamese. Yeah, but he's gotten a lot darker and a lot fatter. I bet he's like 15 pounds now. I don't know. Oh, I have too much fun. Okay, Doc, you stay here while we look for more questions. 2 more questions! I love Burritos 13. This is a cheat question. I love Burritos 13 asked if I've ever kept a strain journal. I kept a strain sticker journal for a little while, but then not every strain came with a sticker for me. Sometimes I would just buy from a private vendor, I would try something from a friend, and it wasn't really working out. So I do keep strain notes as I smoke them just on my website, and then there's like 300 strains now on the strain list. That's coralreefer420.com/strains. I think there's like 300 strains now, so I've done that. I guess the last question. This is like the oh, see, I was about to say this is the most relaxed she's been. Okay, the last question. Would I ever host a contest to win a Stoney Sunday shirt? I think I would. Maybe when we get those purple ones together, we'll do a live Stoney Sunday and do a contest then. I think that's something I can do. Are you gonna bite me? Hum nom nom nom. Hum nom nom nom. I'm gonna put him down. But I think that'd be really fun. I haven't given away Stoney Sunday shirts that often in the past at all because they really are for supporters of the show. And if you see someone wearing it, it almost always means they watched the show, and it's super, super awesome. But to give one away to someone on the show while they're watching the show, I think that's something we could definitely do, and it'd be really, really fun. Thank you guys for watching this week's Stoney Sunday. I will take one more dab before I get out of here. Let's see what's going on. I think the vape exhale is still on, but it started flashing, and then I reset it, so I'm going to take a regular dab, as they say. One of those old school dabs. Did you guys watch the oil slick review? If I was jet lagged at all, it would show in that video because I feel like I was really kind of monotone in it, but I felt fine. When I look back at the footage, I'm like, oh, look a little tired. I like the video though. I'm having, oh my god, I almost put a little piece of weed onto the dab because I thought it was oil, but that is not oil. That goes into the grinder. One last dab. Thank you for joining for this live Stoney Sunday. It's been awesome. I always have fun chatting with you guys. It's way more fun than sitting and just chilling by myself, chatting with no one. Whoa. If dabs are not where you are at yet, you might be wrong, by the way. Dabs are everywhere. I did find some BHO in Australia. The gentleman's rig had just broke. He did have a rig, but I had a pen right there and ready, and that Dabs Down Under video will be coming pretty soon as well. So much Australia footage. I told you guys. Get that hot and ready, dab-a-roo, and get on out of here. This, by the way, came from Cannabis Now magazine. It's a pure bubbler. And you might see me in an issue of Cannabis Now in the next month or so, month or two. Yeah, maybe a month or two. Might be an issue of Cannabis Now. They came over, they left that for me to smoke with. We talked, we took some pictures. It was really, really awesome. It was the first time there was like a photo shoot interview in my own house. It was crazy, but it was awesome, and I really like that magazine because they're nationally distributed, internationally known, and they're just passionate about the message behind cannabis. So it'll be cool to show you guys that as well. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the support. And as always, stay high, you guys.